And European wildcats could return to England for the first time in more than 100 years. It's after a study found they could flourish in parts of Devon.
And an interesting environmental story for you this morning, because European wildcats could return to England for the first time in more than 100 years.
Yes, this is after a study found they could flourish in parts of the Devon countryside. The endangered mammal became extinct in England and Wales because of hunting and loss of habitat. Now researchers say their comeback would help to balance ecosystems.
I can see Carol out of the corner of my eye looking at those pictures going, oh.
Aren't they gorgeous? What beautiful animals.
Because European wildcats could return to England for the first time in more than 100 years after a study found that they could flourish in parts of the Devon countryside.
Yes, the endangered mammal became extinct in England and Wales because of hunting and loss of habitat. Now researchers say their comeback would help balance ecosystems. Our rural affairs correspondent Jenny Kumar reports.
You'd be forgiven for thinking this is a domestic kitty, but this is its wild cousin, one of the UK's rarest mammals.
We have a family of wildcats. We have a male and a female, have very distinct striping as opposed to blotching in the coat, and they have these huge rounded blunt-tipped tails.
They need woodland, grassland and hedgerows to thrive. Researchers say mid-Devon has the ideal mix of habitat for their reintroduction.
This animal was killed in the past because it ate rabbits that we wanted to have in the Middle Ages for their meat and their fresh pelts. And you know, now's a good time to look at some of the bad we've done in the past and say, well, there is a role for these. They should be part of the wider ecology of the landscapes that are all around us. They were a common animal once in England, and that's why we want to reintroduce the species.
Wildcats used to be widespread across England and Wales until they were hunted to extinction more than 100 years ago. The only place they survived was in Scotland.
Their numbers got so low in Scotland that this project began in 2023, releasing 50 into the Highlands. It's been well received, and there was much joy when kittens arrived. But there have been some issues. Although they mainly feed on voles, mice and rabbits, some have also been partial to chickens and pheasants.
They are carnivores, and if there's easy food out there, carnivores will do what they do best and take the easier items. So we're working with a lot of people to try and mitigate those risks.
Back in Devon, the release of pine martens and beavers in national parks in recent years has generally been welcomed, but some have concerns about a wildcat comeback.
They say wildcats will live on voles. Well, then voles are feeding my barn owls. So if you reduce the vole population, then you're having an effect on the barn owls, where we're trying to promote the barn owls.
What would be your message to those who are wanting to reintroduce the wildcats?
Talk to us. Talk to the other landowners who are custodians of their farm, and then we'll see if we can sort something out.
People are concerned because they haven't got any experience of living with this species.
The Wildlife Trust says the cats don't pose a significant risk to endangered wildlife, and they see consultation with communities as key. Researchers say an independent survey showed public support for wildcat reintroduction.
We really want to see this progress. So we're seeking funding to make sure that we can continue to do the work that needs to be done. So it's sort of like the ground preparation, really, to make sure that communities are wildcat ready.
Absent for generations, these furry felines could once again flourish in the English countryside. Jenny Kumar, BBC News, Devon.
And don't they look cute?
Apparently we're not to be scared.
No, they're a bit scary
too.
too.
It will be fine.